The vibe inside the bus wasn't all that lively. I could hear Roja's occasional quips and Raucus Heathcliff starting pointless quarrels with someone, probably Don Quixote or Sinclair. As well as Ryoshu demanding a light for a cigarette, having run out of lighter fluid. Normally, Gregor would have been the center I rely on to bring about some much-needed levity amid such gripes and disorder. But now he's one of the quietest. Just staring out the window, seemingly lost in deep thought. One thing was for sure, though. If anyone were to blame for trashing the mood on the bus, it'd be Virgilius. The journey to achieve the Golden Bow was an awfully arduous one. Sorry, bow. Putting us on the brink of death, and some past that, more than several times, not to mention the occasional crises that almost had us getting kicked out of the company. Yet Virgilius refused to put himself in our shoes. Given everything going on, it's hardly surprising to us to stick with Sinner's bottled-up frustration. In the end, Ishmael, who'd had enough of it, finally decided to speak up. The least you can do is let us know where our next destination is, you know. Oh, sorry about that. I was wondering whether briefing the mission to you fools would be worth the effort. Ouch, that hurts. Don't you know kids who fall behind need extra care? And I can't help but plead for you to not embarrass me this time. I sure don't want to look like a teacher taking a bunch of grade schoolers out for a picnic. I have high hopes for you in particular, Rodion. You might just make a good guide for this one. Huh? Sure, I know I'm pretty exceptional, but I'm not sure what I can do to guide the team in a place I've never been to. Not to worry. You'll definitely more than feel at home in our next destination. The nest of hedonism. A place where you can either hit the jackpot or rock bottom. Very little in between. J-Corp. Great. Even Ro just clammed up now. Well, suppose it wouldn't be so bad to hit big while we're at it. Boy, someone wake me up when we're there. Unfortunately, the bus will not be dropping you off at the branch entrance this time, dear passenger. Get on. Park the bus. Karen? What's park? It means stop. Stops are red. Red tastes bad to Karen. Muttering under her breath, Karen hits the brakes without warning, sending most of the sinners flying face first into the seats ahead while the rest were thrown to the ground. And I was not an exception. A cacophony of complaints and shouts erupted, and while I couldn't clearly catch what the sinners were yelling, I'd wager a good half of them were profanities, so perhaps it's for the best I couldn't make them out. Aren't we bursting of energy today? Good. Now get off. So it looks like we've got quite a distance to cover. Ah, are you going to call a taxi for us? Miss Faust will give you the full rundown, but be aware this mission is going to be quite different from the last one, Dante. This is because you are to retrieve the Golden Bow from the underground floor of a casino. Do you mean to tell us that it's somewhere among the brightly lit buildings lined up at the center of the street? Correct. It's one of the buildings there. The lobotomy branch facility we infiltrated last time was one that had been neglected for quite a while. So you mean that was the exception? See, it's times like this that remind me that the team is not exactly short on critical thinkers, which only makes me wonder how your last mission ended up such a disastrous failure. The Golden Bow is a potent energy source, holding the essence of many technological marvels. With energy that powerful, people and money are sure to follow, laying the groundwork for an entire civilization before you know it. Ergo, it's likely our future destinations will have been occupied by other factions and organizations as well. Which, in turn, indicates that we should be prepared to also visit a wide variety of venues in addition to this casino. It also means that your first mission was the easy one. It makes it all the more baffling how you turned a guaranteed success into a defeat. Is he always this petty and vindictive? Beats me. I've only had a bit more time with him than you have. What do you say again? Something like, "Welcome to Olympus Company. I'm your guy, Virgilius," and all that. Pretty good impression, wasn't it? Gotta admit, he definitely has that bossy, overbearing tone. Nearly made me want to quit on the spot. I get the feeling you guys had the same thought, more or less. Nonsense! 'Twas a day to go down in history to be summoned in service by the Red Gaze himself. Truly, there is no greater honor than a color addressing your... Huh. Guess he does have a fan among us after all. Among us. Looks like it. Roja and Gregor started snickering to themselves, their mood noticeably improved. I'm hearing far too much unnecessary chatter. Don't give me a reason to add a third boss. Come on, that's just plain petty. Employees need some space to vent about their boss, you know? Next time, do it out of earshot of your petty boss. I'm far more fragile than I look, you see. Right, time to get up and move. I sure hope to see you return with a golden bow in your hands this time. And if we bug it twice? Who knows? Karen might suddenly forget which button opens the door to let you in. Button red. Yucky color. He's a complete psycho, this product. U-I-T-G-A-A-N. And that means... shorthand for useless idiotic travelers going abscond. Now. Heathcliff shot Ryoshiko clear as though he were ready to unload a barrage of insults at her, before deflating with a long loud sigh. He backed down in a way that wasn't quite like his usual self, seemingly accepting the fact that caving her skull in with that bat of his wouldn't accomplish anything. Allow me to give you a rundown of the plan. Our primary objective is to infiltrate the casino incognito. This will be critical for the successful recovery of the Golden Bough. According to the information we've acquired, the casino has 3 entrances. One for ordinary visitors, one reserved for VIPs, and lastly, a back door used by employees. We'll split into 3 groups to cover each entrance. 4 of us will disguise as croupiers, 4 as guests, and the last 4 will play the role of VIPs. Working in smaller groups will certainly draw less attention. It is wiser to divide than to unite. You can find your assigned roles in the envelopes distributed. Also, the company's higher-ups have expressed concern about our performance. They stress that the company's future plans hinge on our successful retrieval of the Golden Bough through this operation. Therefore, we will carry out the objective by means of a joint operation. Joint operation? Our partner is a Special Forces unit consisting of professionals and veterans. I believe they are now monikered the LCC, short for Olympus Company Clearance Department. Rest assured that their abilities far exceed our own in espionage. Aren't 12 people already enough? Anything more than that's basically a crowd. Guess someone finally realized that more isn't always merrier. Wowzer! I've met staff from other teams before. Where are they now? Honglu looked around as though he expected Faust to introduce us to our partners at any second. Needless to say, no one showed up. We'll be heading towards the pawn shop. Pawning still a thing these days? We're in so-called Pawnbrokers Avenue. Most businesses double as pawn shops here. That shop over there is our rendezvous point. Let's head inside. Ain't you too many visitors at once? This shop's cramped as is. So, which one do y'all prefer to test your luck on? Trumps? Mahjong? As we enter the shop, we were met with the gruff greeting of an old pawnbroker. What's that blighter on about? Am I the only one here who read up on J-Corp? Virgilius gave us a pamphlet to peruse for that. Well, I vaguely remember checking out the cover. Here, you get loaned different amounts depending on your fortune for the day. Drawing great fortune rewards you with bonus cash, but the closer your draw is to misfortune, you'll be paid far under the pawn's value. Ah, that reminds me. My family had hired dedicated fortune tellers before. They divined a great fortune for me before I left. That must have been a sign that I would join all of you wonderful people on my journey. Wow, good for you. It must have been nice enjoying the high life and fancy pastimes that mansion was. That come bundled with silver spoon fortune? Maybe I should start praying for that kind of luck in my next life if there even is one. I'm good. It's well-off gits like him that tend to play dirty. You might be right, actually. I didn't like to get along with my younger sibling when I was little. I always tried to cheat and crouch if things didn't go as desired. No, that's not what I meant by playing dirty. So you want to get your fortune told or not? Actually, get fortune telling. Do people even bring anything to pawn? Not seeing any globies on you. The pawnbroker glanced over at each sinner with a dubious look until his eyes landed on me. Oh, that cockhead might fetch a good sum. How much you think it'll sell for, old pal? Rogia, why are you even asking him that? As you were likely contacted in advance, we are from Limbus Company, and unfortunately, neither the Sinners nor the pawnbroker are paying any attention to Faust's words. Oh, I did bring this handkerchief with me when I left home. Oh, a dragon embroidered on silk. That's some meticulous needlework, which might net, let's say, 7 million on? A crummy old piece of cloth is worth that much? You better check them eyeballs for cataracts, you old geezer. What? You don't recognize the quality in this craftsmanship? Huh. No wonder. Guess that explains why I'm parading around that ratty ring on your finger like it's real treasure. Tisk tisk. Wait, no, not tisk. You know, I forgot that you don't say tisk tisk out loud, you Lursko. I'm so used to saying tisk tisk. What'd you say? Oi! Out of my way! I'm gonna oi! Jeez, cut it out. Hey Dante, shut them up or something. You had us worried, Faust. Amid the racket of the pawn shop's chaos, I could make out a remarkably kind and gentle voice carrying through. 15 minutes late to our agreed rendezvous time at 4. Surely you haven't forgotten how to read a clock? I certainly haven't, but I was also not the one charged with driving the bus. Aha! Is that why you're letting this clock human tag along with you? Suppose they didn't come with a timer function. Following the gentle voice was the snide remark of a man who didn't even attempt to hide his disdain. Hey, that's a bit harsh. Let's at least try to leave better first impressions. I know my voice won't be heard by anyone other than the Sinners, but I still can't help but get upset whenever people are rude to me. Oh, so it was you? You're the guys that botched the golden bow retrieval last time? Folk had high expectation for your team, with some of the smartest people in the city being on it. Folk. Folk Valley. No wonder. That explains the look on Miss Faust's face. My facial expression has remained unchanging. Hey, this bloke's also the brainy sort. Don't brush him off, aren't you gonna say anything? Heathcliff gave Hussein a sideways glance, only to be met with a lukewarm response. I shall not, as that would be a hollow vaunt. Huh. Remember you being a lot chattier in the basement. What am I dealing with now? An old lookalike or something? You deal with what I deal with. The congenital, self-same reflection of my mirrored self. What's that about ideal? Forget it. Our first mission was devised with failure in mind. We needed an opportunity to see what sort of potential each sinner had. Wait, so that's what that was? An operation with failure as its objective? That hardly qualifies as a mission. By the way, is Mr. Virgilius here? I volunteered to assist with the operation mainly for a chance to get to see him. Must have been embarrassed to be in their company. Imagine having to babysit people like them. Is that why that sod dropped us off so far away from the entrance? Because he was ashamed of us? These two are the ones insulting, so aren't we getting mad at someone who isn't even here? In any case, if they're not going to introduce themselves, we have zero reason to give a damn about their grandstanding. These two will be our cooperators for the mission. They're from Limbus Company Clearance Department, also known as the LCC. Please add before team there if you don't mind. Ah, I'm Sod and this is Effie. So what? You expect Mr. Burson to applaud, or...? Wonderful! It's a pleasure! Honglu was the only person on the team who welcomed them with total sincerity. He even almost gave a standing ovation. As the rest of the Sinners stared at the before team duo with either cold hostility or worried glances, the awkward introduction session finally came to an end. I love Honglu. Now, for this mission, we'll basically spoon-feed you everything. All you have to do is open wide and chew up your simple tasks. Check the documents in this envelope and do exactly, precisely as the papers say. The way Sod patronizingly dragged out that vowel needled me a bit, but I decided not to argue. Besides, even if I did, all she'd hear would be the ticking of a clock. There's hardly any joining forces in this so-called joint operation, is there? You're basically ordering us to stick to your tail. This is downright insulting. Are they taking us for pushovers or what? Look, manager, we've got to put our foot down and do as they say, I guess. Huh? The documents they gave us are flawless. Look at these. Their routes drown out and everything. It's been ages since I saw a plan this clear and meticulous. Mm-hmm. Precisely. This is certainly indicative of their knowledge and experience in drafting proper plans of operation. Ah. This isn't to say that it holds a candle to the level of forethought you display, Executive Manager. Convinced by Ishmael's commendation. I have not seen that word before. Convinced by Ishmael's commendation, I open the envelope and carefully read the rundown of the operation. Put simply, the objective of the mission could be summed up as follows. Operation Reach the Top Floor. What really motivated the plan was the first place prize up for grabs in today's table game. According to the briefing document, the only way to access the area containing the Golden Bow is to win the competition on the casino's top floor. The game will bring together 4 syndicates that jointly bid on the casino. And those 4, the name we are taking is that of the infamous... Ting Tang Gang? A name doesn't necessarily represent the nature of an organization. Believing otherwise is nothing more than shallow prejudice. It is unideal for one to choose to see things through the tinted lens that is pious. Right. Anyway, back to the plan. Masquerade is the boss of the Ting Tang Gang and win the gamble. Afterward, proceed to the underground floors to find the Golden Bow. Until then, we are to make use of the pawn shop's items and clothing to slip into the casino undercover, blend in as either a VIP patron or a dealer for our assigned roles, and wait for top floor team to win the game and give the go-ahead. That's about it for the outline of this plan, I think. No. Hold on, won't this entire thing fall apart if our player loses the game? We've prepared fake identification as well, just in case casino security decides to do random rundown inspections on visitors. Sure, that's all fine and dandy, but how do you plan to win that game on the top floor? What do you think these get-ups are for? We practice for months to pass off as bona fide croupiers. We'll make sure the winning hands come your way. The game's already in the bag, all you need is a working pair of eyes. Yeah, a working pair of eyes. Effie repeated under his breath, giving us a brief, pointed side-eye. He's making it painfully obvious he has zero faith in us. And how exactly are we going to take the place of the Ting Tang Gang's boss? We'll put sedatives in the food served at the casino. We've already finished negotiating the details with the head chef. Sedatives. Sod and Effie shot each other a knowing wink. That brief exchange alone spoke volumes. It was clear that they considered themselves the perfect duo who need to know where to understand each other. Sir, you wouldn't mind if you take a look at the items in display, would you? From this side to all the way over there. Yes. Oh, sure, take all the time you need, ma'am. In a heartbeat, the pawnbroker's disdain melted into kowtowing. The old man bowed so deeply his head was almost level with the floor. Now then, let's take what we need from the display. Oh my, this one here. It's a Gupcha designer brooch, isn't it? Ah, you've truly got the eyes of a connoisseur, sir. This piece is our shop's pride and joy. Only 10 were ever made, so it's no surprise people are willing to pay whatever price it is called for. My dog used to have one of its on its collar when we took it out for walkies. It's so nice to see something that brings back pleasant memories. I'm down for these cowhide gloves. Whoever had them must have been a fashionista. Please stick to the items listed in the envelopes. We have roles to play. Prithee, the envelope I have received saith janitor. Surely this is a most grievous error. Okay, it's good and all, but you have the money to pay for all this? That kind of hand-wringing over budget's way above your pay grade, isn't it? Don't stress, one swipe of this black card can buy you anything you can imagine. Dante, you've got some explaining to do. I remember telling me we can't have prime cut beef because we don't have the budget. Though the rumors were true, games with standout performance were issued no-limits cards. While everyone was shocked by the proven existence of the fabled black card, a loud voice boomed in from outside the shop. Hey, old fart, didn't I say a payment was due today? A man who, even at first glance, clearly belonged to some vicious syndicate swaggered into the pawn shop. Please, give me one more chance. I swear I'll have the money ready next time you visit. One more chance? Can't you do basic math, you old coot? You said the same thing last time. Boss won't like me wasting precious time reteaching your kindergarten, you hear? I'm just a weak, frail old man. There's nothing you'll gain by shaking me down. Pleading in an exaggeratingly loud voice, the pawnbroker flickered a glance at us from the corner of his eye. Eh? Got a mouth on you now, do ya? Yeah, that's it. Lose the shit and show me what you can do. It'll make you feel a whole lot less guilty about having to do this to you. The way the old man looked at us seemed to waver between outright frustration and unspoken demand for immediate assistance. All the noise of the ongoing row now had begun to draw the attention of the sinners. The hell you looking at? Mind your own business. Wow, so cliche I couldn't even be bothered to reply. What a kill for these sticks to be creative for once. Shouldn't we help out, maybe? Unlike Ishmael, who scoffed at the goon without a care, Sinclair turned us an anxious glaze. Unlike Ishmael, who scoffed at the goon without a care, Sinclair turned an anxious glance his way. Why can I not talk? It is what it is. Backstreets play by their own rules, and that's what maintains the complex web of their society. Outsiders like us only try to cause a bigger scene if we try to step in. Satisfied by the sinner's decision to stay out of it, the goon carried on with the shakedown. You ain't got money, why don't you pay your dues another way instead? Not the first time he gave you the chance. Anything but that, I'm begging you. Are we really gonna leave him be? And I step in if the situation displeases you, executive manager. Anyhow, what did that thug mean by another way? Currency more valuable than money exists in this district. It is a known fact that J-Corp Singularity is a powerful security technology capable of blocking anything. What is less known, however, is the extensive cultural and historical background of the corporation's backstreets that led to the Singularity's creation. History? You're gonna stop lecturing us right now, and sign up for bloody school! In spite of Heathcliff's heated opposition, Faust went on for explanation. Here in J-Corp, they utilize the technology to extract something called wish power from people. However, it remains largely unknown beyond this district as it lacks sufficient generality to be classified as singularity. In simpler terms, it's a way to process luck into a commodity that can be traded like currency. The existence of such a technology consequently brought forth the need for a means to stop others from forcibly extracting wish power, leading to the creation of a security technology that ultimately developed into the singularity we know today. Gee wee, Faust. Must be tiring having to dumb everything down for these dickheads. It's fine. This is well within my anticipated scenario. The way you're talking prop was pissing me off. Alright. Pick out the items you need from the display and let's get out of here. Zod raised the schedule pack document at us as if to make a point we had no time to spare. We're salaried workers, not heroes fighting for justice, okay? Wait, not that word. A sudden flash of dread rushed through my mind, urging me to make sure that every sinner was in my sight. That isn't exactly in step with certain someone's principles. And as if the kind of thinking that would severely provoke her. Ishmael seemed to have noticed what I meant and hurriedly looked around. Dost thou presume to purloin the treasure of others? Verily, this deed is naught but utter villainy! Oh no. Don Quixote! I tried to stop her, but I was a moment too late. Don Quixote had already bolted forward, swinging her lance at the Ting-Tanger, who was gripping the pawnbroker by the collar. She got the goon completely off guard, and the blunt end of her lance struck him squarely on the head. He dropped to the floor with a discordantly whimsical smack, and everyone in the pawn shop watched his unconscious heap for a solid minute. Ah, for your information, keeping the sinners in check is not part of my job description. That would be the responsibility of this employee. Don't give me that look. What was I even supposed to do there? I knew my words, my voice, wouldn't carry beyond the sinners, but that didn't stop me from arguing my case anyway. Then, again, even if Saw Nevi could hear me protest, I doubt it would have done anything to mitigate their slack-jawed bafflement. Oh. The pawnbroker was the only one delighted by this turn of events. Ha, serves him right. I've got to say, you could have smacked his head a tad harder. Virgilius did counsel me that though I am free to mete out justice on villains, I must do so without involving those who are relevant to the mission. 'Tis why I did temper my hand. That self-satisfied, proud look on her face grated my nerves like never before. Uh-huh. So, you knew exactly what he told you and still went in charging anyway. Verily, 'twas a deed compelled by mine own creed. I beseech thee to understand the virtue in this act of violence. Not to kill the mood, but that ruffian isn't actually dead, is he? Pretty sure you wished it gotten worse back there, old man. I did. did, but it caused me problems in more ways than one if the Euro Divvy got mixed up in this. The Euro Divvy? What would they show up here? No, wait, why are you even worried about them in the first place? Not up to date with the news, are you, ma'am? They've been causing trouble here for months now. Are they villains as well? Oh yes, they're villains all right down to the small-time shopkeepers like us. They're always going on about, what was it? Shaking down the money-grubbing merchants and giving the take to people in need. Some kind of distribution, they called it. The redistribution of wealth. Ah, that's it, yes. Those scoundrels are robbing us poor saps of what little wealth we have, and they don't even do the dirty work themselves. It's always the local brutes they send. Can you believe it? Life's been hard for us, those self-righteous thugs turning the streets upside down. It seemed like they were here searching for something at first, but now all they do is squeeze money out of us. Ah, I just realized, should we be taking off now? More Ting-Tang bruisers could be on the way. It seemed Roger deliberately cut off the pawnbroker in a hurry, but I had little time to think about the whys and wherefores. The gang member Don Quixote had knocked out started to twitch. Clearly he wasn't going to be out for much longer. What a headache. Now you made the problem bigger than it had to be. Hey, Muffin and Sable, was it? Don't be so tart now. There are plenty of pawn shops around here, right? You can always find another. It's Effie and Sod. Please don't mistake our names for confections. And yes, you're right in pointing out there are plenty of pawn shops in the vicinity. What you don't seem to get is that every last one of them will close up once they hear about what happened here. Don Quixote! I'm getting fed up having to spell every little thing out for these idiots. Just be on our way. Just as we were about to leave, a figure dressed much like the one we'd knocked down with a face just as menacing stormed into the shop. Hey yo, Roger, have you seen our little... Wait, Slimy, just what's going on here? We tried our hardest to pass ourselves off as innocent customers who just happened to be at the pawn shop at the worst possible time. And of course, as luck would have it, the knocked out thug began to come to his senses. Where's the motherfucker that did this to you? Tell me, that bean's gonna regret the day he grew stems. Oh, over there. That red clockhead. The direction his finger was pointing at was far too clear for me to play dumb. And honestly, there'd be no getting around it. Red clockhead was too distinctive. There wouldn't be a single other person in this entire district who'd even come close to that description. Just so you don't get the wrong idea, I have nothing to do with these people or what happened here. I was just about to go get some ice and a towel for that bump on the poor fellow's head. That small gaffer. Didn't expect the skis would hold his ground. He's really got a shaky read for a backman. Although it stung a bit to see the pawnbroker sell us out at the drop of a hat, not to mention to endure the thug's barrage of insults, one of them a clock-related slur too, over something I wasn't even responsible for. I was determined to keep it. Frijolitos over there. Stop. Freeze where you are. Because it was clear as day they were gonna have to hightail out of here right now. If I kept letting every little trivial thing get under my skin, it wouldn't be long before I got beaten to a pulp. No need to run. Just kill him and be done with it. Oh, sure. What's next? Why don't you take out the whole syndicate while you're at it? Sounds like a plan. The forces of evil must be swiftly uprooted. The banner of justice may be lifted high! Is there even a single person on your team who's actually in their right mind? Ishmael bristled at the offending remark and seemed ready to snap back. To me, the sight of Ting-Tang goons readying their weapon was a more pressing matter. First, let's get the heck out of here! True to Saad's prediction, every pawnbroker was busy closing their shops to avoid getting roped into trouble. Hey! You bastards! Don't you dare take another step! Think you can mess with our family and just walk away? Huh? Tiny fave? What's up with these syndicates and their family nonsense? Is that really their best attempt at inspiring some misplaced camaraderie? Look at the swelling you put in our precious youngin's head. For goodness sake, this is going completely off script. Effie presses a hand to his head as though he were having a really bad migraine. I had half a mind to suggest that he keep some painkillers on hand if a contingency like this was all checked to give him a migraine, but thought better of it. With no head of my own, the jab wouldn't have hit home, much less been heard. You too. You thought you were good for nothing mice all along, didn't you? Looking at us as if we were lumps of filth and waste clogging the sewers. I don't think anyone spoke that harshly, Otis. Have you never wondered why we, the bus team, were entrusted with the monumentous task of claiming the golden bows? And why is that, ma'am? Even Effie seemed taken aback by Otis's imposing attitude. While I don't disagree that the others are worthless refuse soaked head to toe in sewage, figuratively speaking. No, seriously, you're the only one who thinks that. Miss Otis, you've thought of this like that the whole time? Never once have I tasted defeat, and our executive manager here has the power to restore us from death itself, making us practically immortal. To be frank, just the two of us would be sufficient as the bus team, though that conniving weasel Virgilius seems to think otherwise. The point is, no matter how many fights these pieces of detritus are thrown into, they won't be worn down. They'll keep coming back as the same piles of trash they were before dying. That sure is an impressively motivating way to tell us you think we're all living, breathing pieces of garbage. Morons. Hostiles incoming. Orders, executive manager. They made for pathetic fools. Barely counted as a warm-up. The Ting Tang gang practically owned the stretches of back streets. A single battle won't put an end to... Effie had barely finished speaking when an additional Ting Tangers began spilling out the alleyways. Who sent you heretics to mess with us on our turf? We are the proud soldiers of the myth! Effie claimed to hand over Don Quixote's mouth before she could finish. Have you completely lost it? Do you want the entire district coming down on us? More incoming. We wait your command, executive manager. Damn it! They just won't stop coming! Keeps us up, we'll be dead knackered before we even step foot in that bloody casino. Don't fret, Heathcliff. As long as manager is with us, there's no chance we'll die from fatigue. You think I don't know that, you... The solution is simple. Any organization can be brought down by killing its leader. Smash the head in, and the sack of meat propping it up will also collapse. That's what I like to hear. You're the only one making sense out of the lot. I'm proper man. Let's go break something. Bones, heads, whatever. Come then. Onward we travail! Wait, get back here, all of you! This is the crowd you're supposed to accompany, Faust. Life is full of mysteries. That, perhaps, is what makes it an ideal reflection, no? Tell me where your gaff is! Want to see him, now! Heathcliff seized a Ting Tanger by the collar and shook him about violently. Even as it seemed, the man's last shred of consciousness was quickly leaving him. Possibly to never return. The sea heart should be at the car bodega. What? The hell is that? Stop making sense or else! He probably means the scrapyard nearby. But seriously, are you actually planning to take out Ting Tang's boss? You do realize that won't earn you anything on your employee performance review, right? He's not sharp enough to factor such things in before he acts. Indeed, he is also a pile of refuse, far removed from schemes or forethought, and quite acquainted with absurdities. Actually, this plan might be a valid alternative. Nothing to worry about. We always keep a plan B, don't we? Sod said with a gentle smile on her face. Though Sod spoke calmly, I caught the back crank with the faint cracks beneath the veneer of composure, like she was making a huge effort just to hold herself together. If disguising yourselves as your given role is no longer an option, then you can pose as members of the Ting Tang gang instead. That way, you won't draw as much suspicion even if you move together as a group. You should be able to reach the top floor without much trouble, too. And while we're at it, maybe we can siphon a bit of wish power from the Ting Tang gang as well. Oh? Come, friends, and lend your gaze hither! What is all this? Cars are stacked atop another as if to form a tower. Somber. What had looked like a towering structure from far, where up close, cars piled into heaps. Why are there so many cars piled up here? Oh! Some bear scripts upon their windshields! These must have been missives from their families! This one says, I miss you. The owners should be coming back for them soon, right? Not a chance. Even if they did return from the casino, they wouldn't be in any shape for a happy reunion with their loving families. Well, if I may play the auxiliary role of an impromptu guide, this here is the hidden landmark of these parts of the backstreets. Final stop for gamblers, so to speak. And also a stepping stone that helped the Ting Tang gang amass its wealth, dealing in used cars taken from those who had nothing left to offer as stakes. So Rogia, you've been around places like this pretty often, right? Got anything to add? Bet you could tell us some interesting tidbits. Nah, no idea. Don't remember a thing. I chose to forget the past and live for the future. I'd stick to that promise I'd made to myself and work for pesky, bent on getting in my way. Oi, Bonin, who do you think y'all messing about in our turf? Oh what, you here to sell your car or something? Nay, we found an omnibus! We're not the ones who are specialized in dealing with organs. I guess a pair of eyes with colors like yours might bet you a surprise. So we've come to the right place! We're here for thy leader! You got some nerve marching up to a gang like this. Who do you work for? We serve under a limb! An awkward silence followed. I ask you a question, don't just trail off. Let's follow this racket. Boss, some fazzle just showed up out of nowhere. Won't even say who they work for. Who sent ya? Judging by the getup, you ain't Los Habaneros or the Butchers. I'll give you one chance to grovel and beg for forgiveness. Do that and I'll let you crawl out of here if your limb's intact. We would gladly part ways, should you first divest yourself of your clothing for us. You know, there were a million other ways to phrase that, saying. Boss, this might be them, the oddpods folk you're whispering about. The ones that, you know, do stuff to people's body or something. Even strange things. Ugh, disgusting pervs. Let me tell you, that's some depraved shit. The man who seemed to be the gang's boss is staring at us with unmistakable disgust. I don't think I've ever wanted to win a fight this badly. You torn little roaches. Who do you work for? Haven't you done enough? About time to spit it out. We are from Limbus Company. Finally, one less millstone around the neck. That doesn't help at all. The hell's Limbus Company supposed to be? Oh, just for reference, Effie and I work in different departments. Please don't lump us in with these people. Eaten in more ways than one, the man finally collapsed on the ground. The sheer frustration at our aversion to communicating normally must have contributed to his fainting spell, too. My condolences to whatever remained of the poor fellow's patience. Do we seriously have to wear these clothes, though? Stuff reeks of sweat and blood and just, ugh, gross. Rogia held up a shirt from a Ting Tang member with just 2 fingers as if she were handling a particularly repulsive piece of garbage. Yeah, there's hair on it, too. First time I've ever been jealous of Dante not having eyes. My vision's working fine, you know. The material looks pretty quality, actually. Guess business was better than I thought. I want that. Hand it over. I can't. It's tailor-made. The label here says, fits all sizes. Catching my glaze lingering on the label, Effie snapped. You wouldn't be doing any of this if you hadn't caused that mess in the pawn shop to begin with. I don't mind. I've always wanted to try out clothes like these. It's like we're filming a movie. To be honest, I'm a little nervous. It's been a while since I've worked in disguise. I don't feel like it. This is some wimpy crap. Sorry, but can someone please keep your mouth shut? Welcome to try so long as you don't mind getting sliced up all the way past the ribs. Durker's calm repose drew a round of muffled laughter from the sinners. For a moment, Effie and Sod hesitated, unsure how to take the quip. Until they moved on, probably because they decided it wasn't worth mulling over. Effie then raised a small container that seemed to be inlaid with mother of pearl. This is a wish canister we seized from the Ting Tang gang's boss. Manager, here's a simple role you can play. What role? Judging by your confused gestures, I suppose you're in need of some explanation. The long and short of it is that this thing contains J-Corp's singularity. It's a tool that siphons people's wishes and stores them as energy. And when the time comes to make use of it, you press that wish power on the paper and voila! Get a single-use sticker tattoo that boosts your luck high enough to touch the sky. Looks like Ting Tang's plan was to win the game on the top floor by scraping luck from other people. Hard to believe a small-time gang boss managed to get his hands on one of these. Manager Dante, right. Before we head inside, I want you to hold on to this. You sure you want to entrust me with something that important? You're not exactly radiating confidence, sure, but we do have our reasons for assigning you to this task. First off, keeping a poker face is essential at any gambling table. No matter how good they are at reading expressions, they can't read emotional cues off the clock. Secondly, I do believe there's a reason you were chosen as manager. Call it a hunch, but something tells me you're more useful than the sinners. Come to think of it, it wasn't wrong. I was given the title of manager, but never had any chance to be the charismatic leader I'd envisioned. Instead, I was mocked, threatened, and ignored by the very same sinners I was supposed to supervise. The only real role I could carry out so far was bringing them back to life. Whenever the sinners fought our enemies, sweating and bleeding, all I could do was cower behind them and pray their heads and hearts would remain intact so I wouldn't have to go through the pain of reviving them. With a heavy heart, I nodded to let Effie know I was ready. Alright, I'll put this on your arm. With this, you can become the luckiest city in the person for a short while. As for the rest of you, you'll act as Ting Tangs, and we'll be the croupiers. Good luck, and break a leg! Vowing to see this mission through no matter what, we pushed open the door leading into the casino. The casino felt hectic, a buzz with sound spilling from every corner of the floor. Numerous slot machines blared non-stop with overly cheerful jingles. And lights were so blinding that some sinners had to shield their eyes. The security guards, noticing our garish outfits, gave us a routine nod. Sod and Effie, disguised as croupiers, suddenly acknowledged us as they escorted Rojan towards the casino edge for chips. I was impressed by how convincingly they played the part. Their postures and expressions were nothing short of flawless. Anyone assumed they'd been working here for years. What manner of sorcery are these dazzling contraptions? Try not to go saucer-eyed everything you see in here, Don Quixote. You're gonna make us look suspicious. The patrons here have all got eyes of those of a dead fish. They smell like one, too. Hell, the Ting Tang schmucks smell better than them. Do they ever wash up? I don't think they'd appreciate you pinching your nose right in front of them, Ishmael. Still, this bilgy stink, I've only smelled it on deckhands on a ship. It was indeed a stroke of luck that most of the guests were too absorbed in the machines to notice us. Manager Esquire! Hast thou ever witnessed such a wondrous thing? What must I do to hear the jolly bells as the other patrons do? I wouldn't know. I don't think I've ever been to one of these places before. The tempting spin of flashy symbols and numbers slowly eroded my resolve to act the part of a stern manager. I suppose one look would. Here! It saith, hit the button. Shall I proceed? I swear on my minute and hour hands, I had no intention of pressing that button. None at all! As I swiftly lunged to stop Don Quixote, however, I slipped and, much to my dismay, slammed my hand right into the button. Yikes! And by some series of unlikely events, this faithful slot machine happened to be one that someone left a coin inside. Enough for just one spin. The reels were to life with a merry, noisy jingle. And all we could do was helplessly watch. I hope Dante's being careful with those wish stickers we took from the Ting Tang gang. That manager, you mean? That was the only favor we asked. It better be handled properly. Relax. You can count on Dante. One of the few people on the team with a sensible head on their shoulders. He doesn't have a head on his shoulders, just in general. That's good to hear. With that many sheets of stickers attached, they should be able to win any game easily. We just need to be careful and avoid attracting attention. Jackpot! The gambler who was sitting right next to me stared with mouth agape, jaw dropping so down to the floor I swear their chin was about to touch the floor. While a torrent of casino chips poured in from the machine, far too many to even think about collecting. Effie, Sod, I am so sorry. I walked in here determined to do something right, then immediately dropped the ball. A jackpot? Which machine? What? Now? Just like that? One moment, please. May I see your ID? What's the problem? Is it a crime to win a jackpot at a casino? Chance in a place like this does not function the way we think it usually does. One may accumulate luck for a large payout, trickle in small amounts to break even. but winning the jackpot on the first try at a machine is clearly a possibility. Chips are raining down on us like shooting stars! So much for being the responsible one here. Can't believe you caved to Don Quixote, of all people. I expected more from you, manager. Thought someone in your position would be able to at least snag us this much-needed win, which, might I add, would have been pretty nice after that humiliating failure of our first mission. The torrent of biting, reprimanding whispers spilling from Ishmael's lips left even Gregor murmuring in astonishment. I'd never seen Ishmael give anyone that piercing glare she was shooting at me. It made me want to crawl under a rock, if there even was one. For once, I was grateful my clockhead came with no eyes. Hang on, I don't think that's the sole issue here. Struck by sudden development, Gregor, who had been anxiously scanning his surroundings, came to a halt and pointed towards the startling discovery he had just made. And where he pointed. How long have you been out of disguise, Ryoshu? It was a completely nonchalant Ryoshu wearing our company uniform. I don't put on cast-offs, of course. Manager bud. Looks like we're screwed. Royally. This can't be happening, after everything we did to set this plan in motion. Faust, what were you thinking volunteering to drag these idiots along in your mission? You're supposed to be one of the most brilliant geniuses in the city. Act like it! Though I have not worked with them for long, I was able to arrive at one conclusion. I ought to become a Faust that believes in uncertainty. When the lack of a plan becomes the plan, all variables become constants. That is the plan, as I've understood it. Faust turned to me with a tranquil face. Thanks to her, I finally understood what my role was meant to be. Alright, it's time for our usual gig. Kill and be killed. I can't stand watching this charade. How much time are you gonna waste fighting those small fries? People who are quick to grouse and moan never seem to offer clear solutions. Hearing Ishmael's disapproval, Ryoshu shook her head and assumed a confident look, as though she was about to put on a demonstration. Then I'll show you art. You there, give me the knife. You may wrest it from my hands forevermore. It would be better if the blade parts from my side to drift about the air for however long. Thank. Ryoshu took Yisang's dagger and threw it straight into the air. It struck an anchorage on the ceiling that kept the chandelier still, causing it to sway precariously. Indeed, Ryoshu may have been weakened from the peak of her strength when she became Sinner, but nevertheless. She was still the best swordsman we had, able to cut through steel like a proverbial hot knife. Sure, she had more respect for a stray wad of gum than whatever I had to say, but that didn't really matter. Everyone reflectively turned their eyes towards the swinging chandelier, and eventually, flustered by all the gazes falling on it, thus in a haze does it succumb to the imminent fracturing. Watch out! The chandelier crashed to the floor in full force, making a tremendous noise that thundered throughout the casino. And that's just about all it did. Nothing else happened. A brief silence followed as both parties stared blankly at the fallen light fixture in the middle of the floor. So, what was that for, Ryoshu? Performance art. You just came up with that, didn't you? Still, I'm glad none of us were hurt. We'll have to see about that. Just making sure we're all on the same page. You all know our goal is to win the game being held on the top floor, not reduce the first floor of the casino to rubble, right? I was certain some definitely didn't know, or if they did care, but I saw no point really. Remember, our ultimate objective here isn't reaching the top floor, it's winning the game. Which means we need enough wish power to make that happen. I won't bother going into detail about how the wish power we went through, quite the trouble to claim, went straight down the drain for so preposterous a reason. No need to hurt our morale even further now, right? I couldn't help but keep my head down, feeling the prickle of conscience in my heart. Where's the largest wish power reserve in our nearest facility? That roulette by the entrance. People who visit the casino try their daily luck using the roulette, and take or yield wish power depending on the outcome. That's so. And I'll snatch the wish canister attached to it when the opportunity knocks. Think you can pull that off? I've carried out countless operations much greater in scale. Your preposterous splendor amounts to nothing in the grander scheme of things, Executive Manager. It has to have been the fault of the drudging grudges who obfuscated your ability to make sensible decisions. Don't let their words deter you. Preposterous. Huh. I see. Wait! While we were busy discussing where to go from here, Heathcliff was already making a mad dash for the entrance. When we were too focused on the conversation, or did we collectively lose our minds? Either way, none of us was keeping track of what he was up to. Heathcliff! Damn it, about time we got on with it, don't you think? Then he shouted at security from the top of his lungs. Oi! Ain't you all one sorry, embarrassing lot? That blondie over there is a rookie who's as unfledged as it gets. And that mate there, our manager, misplaced the memory so badly they can't even wield a weapon to save themselves. This is what you're struggling against? What a bloody joke you lot are. Damn prick. Heathcliff, that was too harsh. Here, much too bean, Heathcliff. And last thing, that club you're holding's wasted on a pansy like you. You cocky little... Seething with anger, the security guard swung his club at Heathcliff, its furious arc sending a harsh whistle through the air. But when Heathcliff barely managed to swerve out of its way, he fell upon the roulette with force and smashed the machine into pieces. The wish canister! Spouts of what I assume were once wish power until moments ago poured out of the roulette machine's sorry remains. As if Death Rose Saw let out an agonized scream before clapping her hands over her mouth. I couldn't help but turn away from this tragic sight. When I grow up, I want to be a wish taker that gives people hope. It was as if I could hear the unrealized dreams of those lost wishes scattering into the ether. Oi, listen up, you thickos. Would you rather keep fighting us or have to admit to your possibility you broke this thing? Or would you rather let us through now and blame us for the broken container when this all blows over? This was a whole month's worth of fun. There won't be any safer for you upstairs. Never been too familiar with safety anyway. Appreciate the advice though. Heathcliff came to me with a loose shoulder, likely dislocated when the club grazed him. What's the look? Do you think it fixed me up? I've made up my mind. From now on, I won't even try to discuss plans or anything in the same ballpark with these characters. It took you long enough to realize. Faust. Ever hear the saying, silence is golden? With that, we dragged ourselves up to the next floor. The atmosphere here seems rather different. It appears that a different syndicate controls the second floor. Hey, Oigan! What's with all the doom and gloom on your faces? Don't you know the floor rules? Sour looks are a no-no, so put a hat over your long face. Are you talking to me? Keep staring and I'll sink. Is that what you want? The heck's sink mean? Snap your neck completely. Come on, Ryoshu, could we please stop immediately resorting to violence? Hey, never mind that. This one's mug is even nastier, no? Which hand's supposed to be your eyes? Ryoshu, ready to throw down. You bet, Dante. Not again! I lost again, damn it, why won't this losing streak end? Oi, Espada, time out, we're gonna need to do some customer care. Team? Dear customer, I hope you haven't forgotten the rules, have you? But, that was... I just blew all of my savings. If you insist on ruining the mood of the table, we might be forced to throw a piñata party out of you. What's a piñata party? I don't even want to know. Pressured by gentle intimidation, the weeping guests stood up from their seat. And then, being handed a pair of maracas from the staff, they... started dancing. Sobbing all the way. What's this now? There's a rule every visitor to this floor must follow. Uno tradition mariachi, if you will. Gambling is entertainment, an activity done purely for fun. Thus, the sadness and pain it brings must be subliminated to dance. Allow this night to demonstrate what dancing is about! Alas, they were harsher judges than they seemed. This one won't do. There's not an ounce of sincerity in your moves. What in the name of chivalry dost thou mean? Dance is a window to the heart. Without clear and pure heart, it loses all meaning. I find thine assessment rather disgracious. This is getting further out of hand. What are you doing, Sod? Oh, just working on our statement of apology to the company, given the way this is going. I can't believe I'm saying this, but our best chance of getting past this floor might just be a dance so magnificent that it can move their hearts. Dance? What is this concept of dance supposed to be? As you all know, my memories aren't all there. Amnesia came in handy as an excuse to opt out of things at times like this. Of course, my amnesia wasn't so bad I forgot what dance means, but given the situation, I didn't find a compelling argument in favor of honesty. Say, Honglu, have you taken dance lessons or anything? I learned a little Bien Len, although I only had 3 instructors teaching me. To perform it, I'll need a few masks, fans, makeup, and we aren't gonna find it. Next. Well, just step on a few good feet of snobbish toffs at balls. My inner voice expresses fear. Me? Spent half my life on a ship. Dance is bright! Cease this relentless obstruction of my words! Sword dance for the first time in a while doesn't sound bad. I'll kill it on the floor. Though the only beats I ever danced to were morning exercise programs during roll call. The executive manager so demands I will immediately see to it that... Well, Dante, good at most things. But I'm what you call a bashful girl when it comes to dancing. I don't mind, except my arm might rage out of control from stimulation charged with the audience's head. Faust doesn't necessarily enjoy dancing for leisure, but could gladly perform a routine if it's for the mission's sake. However, it's not technical perfection they want. They're looking for something unstable and unpolished, such as... Sinclair! What? You busted a move or two as a kid, didn't you? Bust? I suppose I took a basic maracas course at a school as an elective. Sinclair's in the Rich Boys Club too? How'd you figure that, Roja? I can tell from the way he walks and talks. On the other hand, uncultured ones... it shows, you know? Roja quietly giggled while looking at Heathcliff, then stuck behind Heathcliff to wrap her arms around his shoulder. Okay now! My little Sinclair, I have a very, very important task for you. Huh? Hey, Roja, where are you taking me? Moments later, Sinclair solemnly walked onto the stage. Sinclair, you can do this. Yeah, think of all the times when Heathcliff walked all over you. I'm... Sinclair turned to Roja, still looking anxious. Can I really do this? Wrong question, Sinclair. This is something only you can do. He returned a determined nod. The flick of his wrists, that passionately absorbed expression, restrained rhythm, perfection! It's calm, yet it's the calmness that stirs my heart. This young man, he's channeling something from within. This is sublimation. He's fighting to overcome his repressed darkness and inner turmoil with the body's motion. Oh, the lingering embers of a firestorm beating the rhythm. For gestures to be struck along. This conjures an image, one of a bonfire that has burnt out the whole night, and we are witnessing the coalition of ash dancing atop its remnant. Sorry, what? Young man, won't you consider joining us? You have the potential to grow big. That boy belongs to our company. You should know that unauthorized poaching of valuable talent from their current employment is a serious crime. In a matter of hours, Sinclair was elevated from just another moron in our band of idiots to the company's valuable asset. What a fine performance. You wish to get to the top floor, right? You may pass. You have earned the right. Be warned, though. Folks upstairs won't be as reasonable. They have no concept of festivity in their heads. Sinclair came back to us with an invigorated look. The thing's welling up inside me. This is what it was all about. It makes me wonder why I thought it'd be hard. I feel much more comfortable now. I was curious to know the inner struggles he'd expressed through dance to touch the Syndicate to their core. And what kind of hardship a young, seemingly sheltered gentleman like him could have gone through. But those questions could wait for now. We headed upstairs to the 3rd floor. What do we have here? You fellas have any idea what you walked into? Muckabout will make unwilling contortionists out of all of you. Then we'll lop off your digits joint by joint and make pretty mahjong tiles with them. Sheesh, some warm welcome that was. I'm not the one to let introductions like that go nuts. Oi, square. You'd better behave and keep your noggin safe and sound, because it might need something around to kick the can. I remember now. Their intimidating language is what made them famous in the first place. Rumor has it, their language is so coarse that it once inflicted enough psychological damage to reduce dozens of rival syndicate members into gibbering messes. Oi! You lot! Better shut your bloody mouths on being nice! Who the fuck do you think you're eyeballing up and down, little man? Keep staring and I'll pluck them right out of your sockets for your dog eyes. Easy. Don't be so hard on them. Crack one open like eggshells in the scuffle, hollered into him and only heard my voice echoing back because it's empty as a drum. Well, brush me sideways. I don't even got a string of egg noodle for brains? What's that round thing on the shoulders then? A bag of gas? What if they'll go to the same assholes? I mean, it was kind of funny. Don't clear me like that. Dead. You're all bloody dead! What should we do? I don't know if fighting will get us anywhere at this point. To my surprise, Ishmael let out a scuffle. What's there to consider? We have our trump card. We have what now? Just the right person to teach them something legit. After you give it a good and it up, go on it. Next you, then soak it into... Lastly, I never knew it was possible for the human tongue to give such detailed accounts of something so sickeningly gruesome. The TAQ crew stood around like impressionable children, their eyes twinkling with pure, uncharacteristically earnest excitement. Some had even begun taking notes. I'll be damned, she got instructed. Hooey! That's one damn creative twist of wit. She must be what they call wizardess of the tongue, eh? No, has to be the gullible witch. Yeah. Even Heathcliff must have had his fair share of rough and tumble in the back streets, look unsettled by the time Ryoshu had finished her lesson. I am impelled to applaud the inventiveness of her language, the pen. Nay, the tongue is mightier than the sword indeed. Damn, I thought I heard my share of the sailor's mouth all those years I spent seafaring. Guess my vocabulary is only at the tip of the vulgarity iceberg. I honestly couldn't fathom why the higher-ups would organize a team of people like you. It is likely that rational understanding was not in consideration when this roster was established. I'm still having trouble figuring out what they were thinking when they assembled this team. But, I guess, this isn't so bad after all. So, we finally reached the stage of acceptance. This is a cause for celebration. This isn't good. You've reached the top floor, we're gonna have nearly enough wish power. Don't you worry about that. It's finally time to reveal what I've been itching to share. I actually pinched a little wish power back at the pawn shop. It's not a lot, but it should be just enough, right? Doja flashed us a wish sticker with only a corner of it left. Why'd you wait till the last minute to tell us? Like I said, gambling's all about keeping a poker face. We want one of us to slip up or complicate things. Dante, mind if I borrow your boss ball for a second? I nodded, seeing as I wasn't really being much of a leader anyway. Even if I committed to my role, given how things crashed and burned under my feet, it'd only be right for me to forfeit it and bend my knees in atonement. Had it been just a few hours ago, I would have been vehemently against this, but now... Good thinking. Never lost anything where money was involved. Alright. Here comes the contestant! Wait, I'm not the last? Oh man, I wanted to be fashionably late. And you are... Name's Rodion. Here to gamble for the basement's access right. So much for finally meeting the infamous Wish Power Whisker of the Ting Tang Gang in person. You've got a lot of nerve for a nobody sauntering in here like you own the place. What? Is your first day or something? Haven't been playing the game long enough to know less about who plays but who wins. Well, you got me there. Suppose getting this far is a qualification on its own. Pleasure. I'm Ida. And this is... Golly, my back's hurting. Is that a robot? No. Prosthetic body? What are you looking at me for? Never seen a full-body prosthetic before? Isn't your model a bit antiquated? Looks like somebody plucked you right out of a museum. Old as gold, as they say. Patched it up a few times, now it's dirtier than most new ones. Why is that boy so comfy being tardy, anyhow? The arrogant brat thinks he can show up late to serious business, eh? Pardon me, I had an urgent matter. You having a bad case of main character syndrome or something, Sonya? Are you really so hungry for attention that even our annoyance feeds your ego? It's not like that. If anything, I thought you were always the main character, Ida. It's been a while, Roja. What's up? You two know each other? Let's say she's a friend from back home. Isn't that right, Roja? So, are you still leading the Eurodivi then? Still? You're saying this as if we've disbanded or something. You're the only one that dropped us. Now, instead of catching up, since we all have the players, let's go over the rules again. The 4 bettors for the casino are all here. Sonya, Ida, the TIQ boss, and Ting Ting gang leaders. Suspicious yet shameless representative. We'll be playing a straight game tonight. No cheats, no sides to handle out. Anyone catches you in the act, you're out. It should go without saying that anything involving wish power is likewise forbidden. Ooh, when I catch a cheat and you're going around the chopping block, I'll mess you up good. We'll play 3 games in total, and the one with the most chips wins. Simple enough. The winner will get to take the elevator to the underground section where the Golden Bow is. Yes, that same Golden Bow that the former owner of the casino so desperately wanted to claim, going so far as to dig a whole tunnel system under this property to find it. Too bad they suddenly passed away for reasons unknown, that allowed us lucky 4 to win the joint bid on this establishment. What an elegant way to put they died under shady circumstances. Oh, Rhodia, I see you haven't lost your sarcastic wit. Shut it. How do you guys know about the Golden Bow? Anyway, didn't think it was such an open secret. Any syndicate worth its name has caught wind of the stories. Those about the Golden Bow being buried down here, and the riches and fame it'll bring to the owner. That's so. Seems someone gained an interest in fame and fortune. Huh. I think I remember how you always used to preach to us to stay clear of such things, Sonya. The Golden Bow can be used to achieve things far greater than the accumulation of capital, Rhodia. I have never strayed from my purpose, to destroy the system of oppression and exploitation, to keep a watchful eye on the unequal distribution of wealth. Eesh, Sonya's about to begin lecturing again. Someone kick away the soapbox under him. My apologies. It reminded me of the old times. Funny how I used to always discourage your obsession with gambling and riches. Yet here we are, sitting around the same gambling table, hiding our hands of cards from each other in this game with our goals on the line. So, what is your goal? To win? Of course. And here comes the final round. Y'all keeping good eye on your chips? I'm all in. All in? Ooh, dealt a nice hand, huh, Rhodia? Heh, that swagger of yours been rubbing me the wrong way, the whole way. You lose this round, you're out. You know that? The hell are you counting on? I'm the kind of gal who goes for the climactic flourish at the final round wager. Not so fast. Pull your sleeve up. Don't think I missed your little sleight of hand there. The heck's your problem? You just put on one of them wish stickers you got from the Ting Tang boss man on your arm. That's why you went all in on the chips this round, so you can nab the Golden Bow for yourself. Can't fool me. Looky here. Looky here, all. Right here in either hand. This thing. It's gotta be the sticker, right? Can you back it up? Sorry, Roja. Can I take a look at your wrist for a second? Oh no, you ain't. Don't you touch her. Falls, I know you two might be in cahoots. Now, I'll lay your arm bare. Keep your eyes peeled, alright? I knew this sly little fox would play dirty. Wait, something about this whole situation. This exchange. It all feels oddly familiar. Am I having deja vu? You sure are small-minded for such a big hunk of metal, huh? You're being such a nitpicky asshole about this. Didn't they teach you that with stolen wish power comes strict responsibility? You've been watching too many movies. What's stolen wish power? And if you're wrong, huh? Then fold and forfeit the game? You've got guts. Fine. I'll put all my stakes into the piece of wish power on your wrist. What do you say? Same as yours, which means it's gonna be either you or me. So ask yourself this: am I feeling lucky? Do ya, dickhead? Oh, that's cute, and I'm the one who watches too many movies. Anywho, our wager's finally. Oh my, it's just like in that. I think I know where this is going. Here goes, the moment of truth. What? What's going on here? I saw it. I saw little Fox rubber wrist. There's no way! That means you're out. What a pity. What happens to the loser then? Pop off a hand or something? You're joking, right, Rodio? Pointer's removing a prosthetic hand. No, this can't be right. The defeated will be shown generosity. False accusations need to be taken care of with more finality. Hang on, are you... What in the... Holy crap, that came like a car crash. Couldn't you put a blinker on for warning or something? Ugh, look at all the grease and spinal fluid. Ugh! Remember, Rogia? It's the same trash compactor from our Backstreet's junkyard. Remember what I said back then? That we proletariats must unite and take down the ruling class and build a new society. I even remember your reply. Do you mean we should round up the rich and flatten them under one of those compactors? Then I'm all for it. Small correction. I said crush them till they pop. So that's so. Rodia, are you still unwilling to return to the Eurodivi? You all heard that loud slam just now, right? I sure did, after quarrel about wish power and the like. Oh, sorry. Sure did, after quarrel about wish power and the like. What? They catch on? Boy, quit spacing out and try turning the clock. Gosh, can you stop pushing? Ah! Whoa! Unfortunately, Zora we're leaning against was a flimsy wooden frame covered with rice paper. And we all tumbled into the room as the door fell. Who might you all be? Rodia, how did it go? I see you've made some new friends in the meantime, Rodia. Sonya laid his hand of cards open on the table. The game is over. You win, Rodion. I have no objections. He then walked out of the door and didn't return. Once he disappeared, a sudden deafening hollow clap filled the room. Caramba. Thanks for the spectacular game, but I'm not as cool as Sonya. Says you brought your friends, why don't introduce some of mine as well? No, I'm pretty sure I heard one of your guys say that gambling is an activity done purely for fun or something. Mm-hmm, exactly. Isn't this more fun than caving right away? You were gonna force your way downstairs regardless of who won the game, weren't you? Think about it. Why would I give up on the golden bow because a round or 3 of some game said so, when I have all the strength and manpower to seize it? Alright then. I'm actually glad you're a rebel. Starting to get bored with all the sitting around and chatting. Doing our best to skirt around the crushed, gut-churning remains of the TIQ crew's boss, with Sinclair barely suppressing a gag, we made it to the elevator. Despite being the first to grouse and fuss about insects during our last expedition, Roja made her way to the elevator without a word, and pressed the button heading down to the basement. And once silence descended, Sod began hitting Rojo with a barrage of pent-up questions. How'd you manage to win without using any wish power? No, before any of that, what made you so sure you'd win regardless? Yikes, hold your horses, gal. One question at a time, okay? With a grin, Rojo talked Sod into calming down, and slowly began to elaborate. The TIQ boss crew had been buried the Ting Tang gang leader before the game even began. How did you know that? You couldn't have read the tells from his mechanical body. He had every reason to. After all, everyone seemed to know that the Ting Tang gang owned a wish power extractor. He must have been totally sure that wish power was going to come into play one way or another, regardless of who ended up playing. So, you deliberately made it look like you were using a sticker to bait him into calling you out on it? Yep, then I declared him going all in. He'd appear suspiciously ballsy in his eyes. A winning gambler creates her own momentum and rides it. I mean, look, even you guys thought I'd pop the wish stickers, right? If I'm being real, at the end of the day, wish stickers and all that stuff are just hopes and desires given official sounding labels. For someone with unshakable faith in themselves, it's nothing more than a weird piece of paper. That can't be true. J-Corp's wish power related tech is an officially approved semi-singularity with widely proven efficacy. Tens of thousands of people rely on wish power for every aspect of their lives. Nothing is to spot like a little confidence boost in this day and age, right? But me, I'm different. I've always believed in myself. To have faith is to preclude the plummeting of one's heart. Pray tell, how does one go about acquiring such faith? Oh, that? It's actually super simple. I'll let you in on the secret, so listen up. Oh. Just think, I'm the most awesome person in the world, so whatever anyone else says is a crock of shit. That certainly makes sense. Faust subscribes to that perspective as well. Perhaps I shouldn't have asked at all. Roja, don't tell me you've been taking my words as a crock of... Sadly, our merriness over the small victory was short-lived. The cavern filled with the sounds of pickaxe striking against craggy walls, and we saw security guards keeping strict watch over a vault. Almost as if they were trying to send us a note of warning that they weren't about to let us reach the bottom so easily. Hold on a sec. Like, what's the point of winning that game then? Why do we have to be so sneaky about this? What's up with those slaves picking away at the rocks? We technically did earn ownership, but we don't have anything to prove we're the winners. Not to mention how we're more or less intruders though. In all fairness, they were just lurking in front of the vault painted the picture of blatant thieves. Quite the grand excavation. They sure didn't waste any space. You've made spare vaults here, all the while digging a tunnel. What an incredible sight. My time comes, lay me to rest under a pile of cash like that one over there. I want my last breath to be filled with the smell of banknotes. By the way, about that fellow at the table who gave us the up and down. Do you know him from somewhere? A friend from back home. Some things tell me the history between you two runs deeper than just that. Greg, love, these get-togethers are always uncomfortable. Did you already forget about that one heck of a reunion you had with your former comrades? Can't argue with that. There are things moving behind those bars. Aha! I wonder if this is where they raise their pets. Do pets from your home usually rattle their cages like they're about to rip the bars apart? It's the Pekatula. They think they could tame abnormalities? Miss Yuri would have knocked 3 grown adults out cold with a scoff if she heard that. Oh, Yuri. It is possible, theoretically speaking. Provided they possess similar levels of intelligence to humans and that an empirically proven method of managing them exists, that is. Huh. Guess they could make for some excellent guard dogs, that ever works out. Oh? On closer look, these people have fingers or other parts of their bodies bitten off. Thankfully, he didn't add an obnoxious remark like, is this fashion? This time. Is this in fashion these days? Almost. Almost did. We got security guards and Pekatula. This is starting to be a bother. Got any ideas, Greg? Said you fought on the front lines back in the war. Try something. What does that have to do? Hey, stop pushing! Shoved out of cover by Roja, Gregor stumbled forward and ended up separated from us. And ran straight into a slate, busy digging with the pickaxe. An awkward silence hung between them for a moment. Hey, looks like things aren't exactly pleasant for either of us. How about we just let this slide? We're not here for the money in that vault. I mean, sure, everyone refuses if offered, but that's not the point. We're just trying to get to the lower level. We're not here to cause trouble, I guarantee you. Why don't we just never saw each other and go our separate ways? For 47,920,000 on. 47,910,000 on. 47,900,000. Speak some sense, or I'll barf on your hands. Someone who often spoke in riddles herself, Ryoshi's patience sure wore out quickly. Trying to grip on her sword sheath as she threatened the worker. I think she meant she'll break all remaining fingers on his hand. At this point, I'm more scared by how fast he figured that out. Must pay all the debt before I can go back to family. They said they'll take off one on for every swing. 47 million, and how much was it? Ah! Don't talk to me, I need to count. Hold it, what's all the noise over there? Ah, shoot. Cornered, Gregor suddenly started shouting in remarkably robotic cadence. We can't live like this anymore. This is outrageous abuse to tie people up and force them to dig. Let us all rise up and fight our oppressors. Forward, charge! The hell is that? Propaganda. His effort regrettably ended in failure. Greg, here's the thing about those people. They're here because they've spent their whole lives like lice. Trembling little creatures don't know how to exploit or be exploited. You seriously didn't think a half-baked speech would suddenly awaken the revolutionary spirit, did you? Next time you attempt a subversion, ensure your acting skills are at least at an intermediate level. Greg, have you seriously never tried acting even once in your life? Come on, go easy on me. I'm embarrassed too, you know. Gregor's catastrophically bad acting must have irritated even the guards. I couldn't possibly fathom why else they would throw up in the locked cage. Such a risky move otherwise. Wait, why are they coming this way? Stop! I said stop! Get them off me! Hurry! 47,900,000. The big axis rose and fell with that pause. 47,900,000 blows to go, counting down. Taking advantage of the moment of opportunity, we slipped away and descended further. Guess that counts as receiving help from these debtors, after all. Just a coincidence. Rodan replied curtly, her face betraying no emotion. It's a freight container, made of smooth plastic that comes in assorted colors. The use of so many peculiar materials suggests that this is more than just a basic manufacturing facility. Almost on cue, the eerie, colorful containers were to life, chirping a cheerful tune. Got a bad feeling about this. Why aren't there any guards on this floor? The answer revealed itself before anyone could voice their uncertainty. The containers finished cycling and their doors slid open. Out came. Highly excited! Thoroughly amusing! The game of death! It appears they've redoubled excavation efforts from this point onwards. Otherwise, there'd be no reason to mass-produce augmented humans on a conveyor belt. Got it, but we gotta get a move on. They're pointing right at us, singing that spooky song. Feels like it's getting colder and colder. What's with all this ice around? An increase in the frequency of anomalies should ideally be strong positive reflections. Did you call? The original joke is, I don't know if I explained this already, but the original joke is that in Korean, Yisang's name is pronounced the same as ideal. So like, you know, you say ideal in Korean, it sounds like you're saying Yisang, but obviously, if you say Yisang in English, no one's gonna get what the fuck you're saying. Am I missing some kind of pun here? Why do you keep reacting that word? God, it's so cool. Putting aside Ishmael's grievance, I thought about what Faust said. Because that means we're getting close to the Golden Bough, right, Faust? It was a pretty solid answer, if I do say so myself. Yes, sure. Faust's reply, however, was discouragingly dull, or at least that's how it came off to me. We came up upon a monumental castle of ice, flanked by frozen pillars that seemed to boast an indestructible durability. Before it stood a person. A man with hyaline hair, clear as ice, waiting for us. I'd come here whenever I felt the need to clear my thoughts, though there are no armchairs or whiskey that you like. The chill dominating this place pierces even the thickest coat. It helps me think with a more lucid mind. While the rest of us are frozen stiff, stuck watching, Rhodia made a slow step forward to face him. I didn't expect you to get here first. My men and I knew of a shortcut leading here. It was a route we learned by parlaying with local lowlives in our search for the whereabouts of a great buried power waiting to be used for our noble purpose. Alas, we could only make it as far as this place. The general vicinity of the buried golden bough, we could not get any closer to it. Thought you'd never leave District 25, seeing as you resorted to those tactics like some kind of gangster. Maybe you should have stayed a country boy. Sonia, your lackeys have been taking from shopkeepers who weren't even rich to begin with. Wanna know something, Rhodia? This cave used to be nothing more than a peculiar hollow whose lines were aligned with hoarfrost. And look at it now. A giant castle surrounded by thick columns of ice has risen here. This change happened the instant you walked in. Sounds like you figured this would happen on my arrival. How'd you know? I have many sources, but that's not for you to know, Rhodia. What makes you say that I caused this in the first place? I'm not some kind of witch at tax streets or anything. I think the answer to that should become quite obvious once you observe the faces encased in ice. Take a peek. They're ones you love yet secretly contemned, are they not? 2,500,000 on. That's all it's worth? You can't be serious. Oh, I am dead serious. Just look at how old and battered it is. It's scratched all over and any shine it once had is long dulled. To be frank, others wouldn't pay more than 200,000 for this. And the rest, all worthless garbage. With that, the remaining unpaid tax is now down to 400,000 on. Why do the poor only grow poorer the harder they work? It's ridiculous, isn't it? As the pawnbroker's vault grew fuller with each passing day, our neighbors only grew more gaunt, forced to give up even their most precious mementos and cherished memories to be weighed for pocket money on a ruthless scale. Sonia rallied people, delivering speeches using big words. They organized a group under the name of the Eurodivi. It went okay at first. Sonia's word managed to inspire even the thickest folks to help the impoverished of backstreets. But I could see it on Sonia's face that he still wanted something more. Eventually, the Eurodivi was first established to actually go out and help the needy was warped into an organization full of passive pundits who only cared about sitting around and endlessly debating how the streets and nests would be revolutionized. That's why I left them. Being an armchair revolutionary wasn't going to beat our starving neighbors. But I told you, time and time again, Rhodia, we must wait for the right moment. Sonia, I'm sorry, but that moment you kept talking about, it didn't come when little Ivan, Eurodivi's youngest, dug through trash for food waste just to recall what having food in his stomach felt like. Nor did it arrive after he choked to death from it. Such detailed policy plans and the power to realize them are both necessary in monumental endeavors such as ours, the redistribution of wealth. Personal grievances and tragedies will inevitably occur as the wheel of progress turns. Personal? Don't you remember how it all began? Helping people was our purpose. You and your Eurodivi no longer seemed interested in doing that, nor in anything I'd hoped for when we began. Is that why you decided to take matters into your own hands? Absolutely. What our town needed wasn't an empty promise telling people to sit on their hands and wait for some vague moment. Someone willing to pick up the axe. Must have been one of those days where most of the neighborhood hadn't seen even a glimpse of food for at least 4 days. But the biting wind hounded and howled without mercy, clawing at the cracked skin of people who barely had any energy left to even move. I happen to know whose safe kept so much money she could treat my neighbors to a 3-day feast and not even make a dent. So, what did you do? No. Wait, I don't think I want to do this anymore. The golden bough has resonated with your psyche, and has created this confessional source, just for you. And a confessional's purpose is to lead a sinner to the path of penance. If only that old woman had changed her mind in her last moments. But Rhodia, you must have known that a terminal leech upon her neighbors wouldn't turn over a new leaf just like that. You knew she wasn't the kind of person who'd give up that life for that of a generous philanthropist. You wouldn't have brought the axe otherwise. Poor Rodion, dear, you seem to be under the delusion you're some sort of savior. Demanding my money so brazenly that my face won't change anything. You're nothing but a louse yourself, no different from the paupers in the back streets. That's right. I'm the one who put an axe through her head. Like cutting open the belly of a goose that laid golden eggs and cleaved into that hag's skull. I mean, someone had to do it. Am I wrong? Unlike that idiot cottager in the fable who gave in to greed and severed his own future prospects. We were just hungry. Miserable people would have gladly scooped out her brains for a meal. And unlike the goose, her belly was full of golden eggs. Yes, the old lady you killed was a tax collector wielding considerable authority in District 25. But what gave her so much power was her sibling status as a member of the Middle. I put an axe through the skull for my neighbors so they wouldn't starve to death. Was that so wrong? No, you did that for yourself. You couldn't stand the fact that you weren't anyone special. Did you know? The Middle never forgets. Never forgives anyone who's wronged their family. If you're too interested in finding out exactly who did the deed, what matters to them is that they demonstrate clearly what happens to the poor fools who dare to disturb them. The joy of the backstreets residents who tasted the tenderness of quality meat for the first time in their lives soon made corpse towers of them all. Not much different from the car padogas outside the casino. I'm well aware of the sheer weight of pain and guilt you've been burdened with ever since then. It can't have been easy to live with the realization that, at the end of the day, you really weren't so different from the idiot who cut open the goose who laid the golden eggs. Since that day, nothing I held truly felt like it was mine. It's all my fault. It's okay, Rodya. You see, Rodya, I've perused hundreds of books, thousands of documents. I've met all kinds of people around the city, all to change the world. Change the world so that the oppressed can be freed from the exploitative dominion of the ruling class and find liberation in the truest sense. I want to make that world a reality. However, I learned that such a world cannot be realized by changing what is already here. Once ink makes its mark on a page, it's permanent. You can't simply put the ink back in the pen. Look closely. This is the world you and I can usher. A world that can be created with the golden bough with which you resonated. May no soul on earth suffer from starvation ever again. May every individual have the right to pursue their delights, both spiritual and intellectual. Join hands with me, and I'll gift you that world. It would be as if everything that has happened hasn't happened at all. Ah. Who could ever understand such a feeling? Even the briefest glimpse of that world felt so dreamlike. I wanted to etch that mesmerizing incident in my memory so I wouldn't forget it, not even for a second. If this were a dream, let my sleeping self never wake and join the residents of the dreaming world. But, despite everything... Sorry, I'm still turning down your offer. How should I put this? I don't want to bask in the warmth just yet. I feel like I ought to be shivering in this cold for a bit longer. I think I'll stay this way. At least until I can answer whether I deserve to be warm again. Besides, Sonia. You knew my temper would get the best of me and make me kill her, didn't you? Rodya, this will probably elude you, but you don't have the sign. I came here hoping to see you possess it, but I'm seeing it on a few of your friends instead. Sign? What do you... On top of that, you can't even see the sign. In other words, you don't have what it takes to lead. But I'm different, so, make a better world. Yeah. I remember hearing you say something like that a while ago, sitting atop a desk buried behind piles of books. That's why I can't join you. I still believe your big words and endless debates won't ever feed the neighbors. I'm sure you've learned by now. There's no way a rowdy rascal like me would fit under some dweeb's leadership, right? The golden bough awaits inside the castle, Rodya. I hope you'll be able to find what you seek. We walked past Sonia and made our way into the icy castle he indicated. I see the exit over there. God, bloody persistent in it. Oh, yeah, I accidentally... my recording software bugged and didn't let me record it. But pretty much a giant abnormality, is stomping and chasing after the sinners right now. And in the way are a bunch of the miners from earlier. The debtors. We'll have to distract them somehow before we can get away. Why don't you throw us at one of them? You can bring him back later anyway. Why are you looking at me? Hold on. Look over there. Leave this to me. Sonia? What are you playing at? Rodeo, what are you talking about? Just let him do his thing. We need all the help we can get. No one ever helps for free, you know. There's gotta be something. It's just like how you simply couldn't hold yourself back from using your axe that day. I'm discovering that it might have a similarly inexplicable drive. Dante, I take it that your organization is working to make a better world on its own, right? Yes? Uh-huh. What does a better world entail? For the first time I was reminded that I'd never questioned the motivations of Limbus Company. Thankfully, none of my contemplative fudging reached Sonia, and he took my lack of response as a sign of agreement. Silence speaks volumes. I'll take that as positive. And one more thing, the child will soon visit you, too. Child? Huh? Ah, sorry. My eyes must have fooled me. I thought I saw something on his forehead for a second. Yes, I mean that boy who left quite the impression on you. It'll be a touching reunion, I imagine. Sonia nudges his chin slightly behind him. A faint light was shading between the fallen blocks of ice, giving a distinctive glow. The golden bow. Don't expect me to act on the same impulse of kindness next time we meet, though. The clear path towards prosperity the many shows itself before my eyes. I'll take it without hesitation. After Sonia left us with a mysterious message, the Yodivi began to show up one after the other. We'll take this... well, this may have been good times any for touching farewells like I won't forget you. And I saw Rodeo as the first to sprint for the exit. Rodion, are you not concerned? About what? Irrespective of consequential differences, it is nevertheless a fellow of yours. Ah, that. Hey, he's a clever dude. I'm sure he'll figure out a way to live and all that jazz. Truly, an ideal form of friendship. Sometime later. I was just about ready to pass out. I had to give Virgilius a brief report on what we went through today, on account of his fierce gaze. I see. So that's your story. There's just one thing that bothers me, though. This man, Sonia, was it? His actions during those final moments don't seem to quite align with the way he perceives his ideology. We need to get a clearer idea of his true intentions before moving on from this. Hey, time out! Time out! First he's saying, and now you too? Does everyone care more about Sonia than me? I'm the one who got the golden bow, aren't I? As a plus, check this out, everyone! From her pockets, Roger pulled out a bunch of colorful gaming chips in her hand. We can exchange these cuties for cash in any casino, so we should drop that one. Nabbed them while our one and only manager hit the jackpot and dazzled the floor. I'm impressed that you thought to pocket all that amidst the chaos. Well, Berg, what do you say to a juicy serving of prime sirloin steak to celebrate our abounding success today? Any thoughts, Karen? Seems Nephew wants it too. Fresh, succulent, juicy meat. Yeah, all the things you can mention. Alright, then. I'll entrust Rodion with the task of locating the venue for our dinner. Okay. Vroom vroom. Now we're talking, Berg. After all said and done. Profound anxiety trembles beneath the grin, but she soon slips it under the mask of levity without a trace. I'm pretty rad, aren't I? And now it's time for the pass on. I'm not personally a fan of it, but I'll shut up and let you listen to it.
남은 건 허망한 기억 불길이 나를 태운 것처럼 내 손엔 잿빛 먼지뿐 쉼없이 달려왔던 나를 죄어오던 시간들 이조차 그리워질까 먼 날 언젠가는 돌이켜볼 기억 속에 미소 지을 수 있기를. 내게 남은 알 수 없는 시간과 이제는 나가야 할 때 자신을 태워 사라져가는 촛불과 닮아 있구나. 숨고를 새도 없이 떠밀려 던져진 날 속에 내 길을 갈 수 있기를. 먼 날 언젠가는 돌이켜볼 기억 속에 미소 지을 수 있도록 멀리 멀리 날아가고 싶어. 밤하늘의 새처럼 별에 닿을 수 있게. 이 밤 또다시 찾아오겠지만 괜찮아. 다 사라지네. 괜찮아.
Impressive, Eurodivi. Not only did you manage to clear out the legion of foes, you also burned all that cash. You should know, Herman, that I've never been a friend of capital. I will admit, you're not like most idealists. You actually walk the talk. You'd have earned yourself a further compliment if you had capped it off by securing the golden bow. I showed Rodia that world. The same ideal reality that I fell for. Alas, I suppose it didn't win her over. It seemed the message you suggested was wrong after all, Herman. She wasn't the kind of person to let a few words change her mind. So, do you find this regrettable? Well, part of me might have wished that she'd follow me like in the past. Actually, never mind. I think I'm actually relieved to find things haven't changed at all. Roja never wished for a perfect, flawless utopia. Rather, she might have felt that it would be boring to live in such a world, since there'd be no way to affirm that she's special. That's the impression I got. I thought her to be a woman of virtue and unshakable principles. Turns out she's but a dreamer, just like yourself. She still has a long way to go, that's all. Though I doubt she'll admit that. I got your point. I'll keep it in mind for future considerations on our course of action. You won't scold me for this? I did ultimately fail to complete the task you gave me. Would reprimanding you make the bow suddenly appear at our feet? No. It's fine. Wherever the bows may be now. What matters more is who claims the bundle at the end.